Welcome back to BGP. It is 2024, and this is our first episode. We held back on doing this topic because we were trying to wait for the verdict. That verdict has now been postponed. So we're going to talk about Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors went from pink and pouty on the cover of Essence magazine, he was most wanted, to possibly facing prison time. Last year, Jonathan Majors learned how hard they fall when he was found guilty of sexual harassment and, no, reckless harassment and assault for a little altercation that he had with his then girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Ladies, if you were on the jury, would you have found him innocent or guilty? Adrian.
Well, I have not seen everything, but the little bit that I have been privy to, the footage that I saw, I would have said no, because initially all they were showing was him being chased by the alleged suspect, or the victim, and it just looked like, well, dang, she's seems like she's the aggressor, she's the one trying to assault him. But later on, more and more things came out that may point to him being guilty. So I would have had to see a little bit more to really come to a conclusion of how I would find. But just by the first footage, I would say it was a little bit questionable.
Nisha?
If I'm going off of the evidence that was presented, I would say it's questionable. If I was just only going off of the video, then my answer would be a definite no, because we see in the video he's running away from her, trying to get away from her. But some of the other evidence that was presented was the after effect of what happened when the altercation that took place in that vehicle took place, as far as bruising on her, not him, but on her, her being found unconscious with bruising, her saying that he did it, stuff like that. It would be questionable for me. It wouldn't be a solid no or a solid yes. But yeah, based on the evidence that was presented for what the charges he was, having thrown at him, it would be questionable.
So they charged him for what happened in the car, correct?
Yes.
It was kind of
Yes.
on the car.
Yes.
So for me, I think he got railroaded. I think he was innocent for that part. That is what I would call the Keke Palmer effect. Y'all tussling, tussling over somebody else's property. And when you tussle, injuries may occur. So I'm going to paint the picture. You're on your way home from a beautiful night out with who you presume to be your man. And let's say you got your head on his shoulder and his phone rings. And it's a text message. And you glance over and the text message reads, "I wish I was kissing you right now." What you gonna do, Adrian?
I think I'm gonna wait till I get home.
Big girl.
And wait a minute.
Baby
This
steps.
is okay.
Baby steps.
After I've
Andrew
worked
through
on
violence.
myself.
Because in the past,
Yes, I'm getting better. I'm healing. So what I would do, because I have to let it marinate. And first of all, Jonathan is huge, okay? And so you have to really pick your battles, okay? And I would wait till we got home and say, hey, I don't want to seem like I was being nosy or anything, but I happened to see your little text. Who the fuck was that? Who was that? And he'll probably say, well, what are you talking about? And then I'm going to reiterate what I saw. And then I'm going to see what he says. And then we going to deal with it. Because ultimate disrespect, again, it shows that he's apparently got somebody else. So I think it's real important for women to know you can't be real quick to respond, because that's when things happen. You have to really let it marinate. What do they say? Don't react, respond. Is that the way it is? Or respond, don't react. Yeah. Because when you react, you're coming off of emotions initially. And that could lead to some very physical altercations, which I I got hands, but I'm getting older. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that I'm in a place where I could protect myself if necessary. So I would choose the way I approach it very delicately.
Nisha Williams.
I would probably question it in the car. I wouldn't physically attack, but I would question in the car, like, who's that? And why did she say she want to kiss you? Like, I want to know more information, and I'm not going to wait till I get home because I just want to know because I see it in that moment. So, yeah, I would ask questions.
I'm going to have to agree with Adrian. He is a high-profile man. He is an entertainer. He's traveling all over the world. Women are trying to get at him for who he is. They're stopping and dropping. They don't care if he got a woman or not.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. Had the text message read something like, "It was good to see you. Hope to see you soon." He might have could have lied his way out of that. But see, this message was giving intimacy.
Exactly.
Now, was she wishing to kiss him for the first time? Or had she experienced the kiss in the past? So I'm going to do one or two things. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to collect it as data.
Mm.
Or I'm going to be like Nisha and I'm going to be like, I wish I was kissing you right now. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ball is in his court.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go home, and depending on how I feel, we might just continue to have a beautiful night. But the next day, I'm going to assess our relationship, see if I can see any kind of trickeration. Because normally when a man is cheating on you, he's going to do one of two things. He's going to be extra sweet, or everything you do or everything you say is going to irritate him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to assess our relationship, and I'm going to wait until he says something. Because the ball is in his court, and we're going to see how long it takes him to say something. So why do we want to see the phone?
I don't even want to see the phone. I'm just, to me, I'm doing, in a sense, what you're saying. I'm looking at him because I am going to question, who's that? And I want to see his reactions, his facial reactions, and what comes out his mouth. That's going to determine how we move next. But I don't care what's on the phone. Now I already saw what I needed to see. There's another chick telling me she want to kiss you. Did it happen before? Is this somebody you work with? Is this I just want to know. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I don't need anything further as far as looking through the phone for any reason. We're going to deal with that specific situation and start there. Does that mean some other things may have been going on? Possibly, because usually if you are a cheater, it's a lot of times it's a serial type thing. You've been doing it, you've been allowed to, you've been getting away with it. So this is just another issue and you just are now being made aware of. So I think I would definitely, like Nisha, like you guys said, address it. We're going to address it and we're going to talk about it and we're going to stay specifically on this topic and we're going to address that.
I think the reason why most women want to see the phone, because they want to be able to scroll and see how long this has been
the
going
curiosity's
on.
there.
This is an electronic receipt. I want to see, oh, this has been going on for a few months.
Yeah.
But see, most men that cheat, not all, but most men cheat that I've had conversations with, they delete their shit every day. So you're not going to have all the evidence right there. They could have been talking for 6 months. You might only see a conversation for the day. So that won't confirm that.
And that's true, because here's the thing. This is what I've heard. If you're a player, when you with your bang chick, your phone's supposed to be off. Number two, if you do allow your side chick to text or call, if she texts you, it should be so encrypted that only you and her know what she's saying. I'm not promoting cheating, but this is what I heard. So what do you think nailed the coffin for the case? The bop on the head?
I think there was a brief, I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a conversation where she was saying, he was asking her, what are you going to say in the event they ask you about the bruises or the bumps or whatever? And she said, I'll just say so and so and so.
So yes, There was
Right.
another electronic receipt
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
where she texted him and she said, "Ooh, my head is hurting
Yeah.
really bad."
And that wasn't
I
and
have
that
a
wasn't
contusion.
that wasn't from that last situation
This
Right,
that he
that
got in
was a
trouble. That was from a
previous. That
previous
was a
Jeez.
previous
situation that he
situation.
did
Yeah.
it.
And
But yes.
she was like, my head is hurting really bad. I think I have to go to the hospital. And
Mhm.
he was like, nah, you can't go to the hospital because they're going to start questioning you. And she was like, I'll just tell them that I hit
Yes.
my head. And he was like, nah, I can't be sure that you're not going to give out the information. But see, then he pulled a double whammy. He already bopped her upside her head. Now he going to try to reverse it, use some psychology and say, oh, I'm such a monster. I'm going to unalive myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, I would have been like, what time? Because see,
Okay. Not
I'm over
again.
my head throbbing, and you
And
now
you
you
making it
talking
about
about
you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
you about to unalive yourself. So
Mhm.
I think that helped them see that he possibly had a pattern of assaulting her.
Mhm.
And say we all are white women.
Mhm.
Mm.
And your man
Mhm.
comes to you and says, I'm a great man. I'm trying to do something for my culture. I'm trying to do something for my community. And I need you to have the spirit of Coretta Scott King or Michelle Obama. Adrian, you're a white girl. What you gonna do?
And
As
mind
a
you, wait. And mind you, Adrian, you are also in your early 20s,
Well,
and
she's
this
30.
man is telling you that.
And she's 30 and she's from England.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? What you gonna say?
I'm probably gonna try to support his black ass.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Nisha.
As a white girl, look.
That's what you're gonna say?
As a white
woman?
girl,
Let me
You gonna
search
say
for
okay?
your
white
black
girl,
ass.
you got this big. No, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm thinking I'm going to probably back him. However, I can help him grow his brand and
Mhm.
build him up because I'm a white girl.
Mhm.
And there's a little bit different stuff that we tolerate. I mean, well, that white girls tolerate
Mhm.
than we do. And she probably, you're easily manipulated at 20 plus years old. So I think she would have, okay, well, let's go ahead and what do you want me to do? You want me to get braids? I don't know. I just feel like she gonna do whatever she can to be by his side.
Nisha.
I would have been confused because, I'm not from the States. I'm from out the country. I'm not Coretta. Coretta was, married to a civil rights, but there's a high chance that Black history is not even taught over there in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I might be able to relate to the Michelle because Michelle's more relevant. She was the first lady for Obama. So I might be able to try to relate, but I don't know because I'm white. But I know you upset because let's be clear. When he said that, he was upset because she kept coming home drunk late in the morning
That's right.
because she's young. And so he was upset with that because that's a bad look for him as a black man. So I'll try to figure out a way to, emulate Michelle from a white woman's point of view.
So for me, I would feel highly disrespected. I am a white girl. I don't know how to act like a black woman,
20-something.
especially old black women.
Mhm.
You just disrespecting me. What do you mean exude the energy of two black women? He could have said Princess Diana or Queen Elizabeth or something.
True.
How are you supposed to do that? So here's my question. Do you think that Megan Good helped or hindered his case?
Oh, she helped for sure.
How?
She helped because she presents herself as his current girlfriend and she's not showing up with abuse or anything. And she has that celebrity look to go with him as he's going into office. So he's being presented as he's in a relationship with somebody. She doesn't have any bruising. She's being supportive and she's black. So yeah, star quality. Yep. She helped. In my opinion.
I don't know that it helps. He probably would have been better to still look like he like white girls and come in there with another white chick. I don't think Megan is not really the person for a jurors to see that would be the good girlfriend. I mean, she just went through a divorce herself. They're thinking, we think about all kind of stuff when you're looking at a couple. It depends on how many black people was on the jury. Was there any? I don't know I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on if it was good or bad for her to be there.
Yeah,
But she was by his side.
well, do you think it was PR or you think they really a couple?
It was probably PR.
So here's what I think. I think that she hindered his case. You are in New York where they racial profile.
Exactly.
They've been known to racial profile black men specifically. They've been known to unalive black people in New York. And here he is facing charges against a white girl. And if his white is right, and he mobs in with a sister, looking like no remorse. I've just moved on, F you, white girl. I think that he should have came by himself. Because Megan Good did just come out from a divorce from a pastor.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was a good look. I think it was it kind of divided the situation. Could you have been Megan Good in that case?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Why not?
I think, first of all, I'd have a lot of questions for him. Because here you are, I mean, it's just not a good look. Here you are with this man that's being accused of battery and assault on a woman. It's just not I couldn't, she had too much other stuff going on in her life that she need to clean up and get her reputation back in some type of order. For her to come is just like a double whammy of shittiness.
Nisha?
I'm a proponent of your past history. Gives me an indicator of who you are. So his past history, he never was with black women. So for me, I couldn't do it. That would be the main thing. And then two, his history of mental health issues and anger issues would be a no for me. So, I couldn't be Megan.
Yeah, for me, you let her go with you to walk the red carpet. You want me as the sister to come in here and support you for this.
Yep.
First of all, we're in the same industry. We're both entertainers. It's going to go one or two ways. You're going to win or you're going to lose. If you win, I'm going to look like the good girl that supported you. But if you lose, I'm going to look like the girl that supported you. So once I discover anyway that you have injected your sacred black penis into the oppressor's daughter, it's going to be a no for me. You're going to have to get somebody else to do it, homeboy. It's just a no for me. No. So do you think that Megan knew about the bop upside the head
I think she knew about everything.
before or during the trial?
I think she knew before.
You think he disclosed that
He had
information?
to.
I don't know if he disclosed it, but I'm telling you, you can't be around a person that's abusive and not see some signs of their abuse. Even early on, they're there. And she probably many a times questioned, oh my God, this nigga probably did do this shit because he getting all riled up over me answering the phone for my baby for my ex or something. I don't know. They show signs. They do.
If I hadn't known about it beforehand and that part of the testimony came up, the next day I'm not supporting you.
Yeah.
I'm not going down with you because now it's questionable about how you handle conflict.
Conflict,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got something to say?
I don't know. I just, I believe in having conversations, asking questions when getting to know somebody. And so if I find out in your history that pretty much every relationship you've been in, there's been some questionable physical altercations, or there's been some mental health issues, I would be apprehensive in moving forward with you. But that's just me. So I don't know about like Megan, like I don't know if she figured this was going to be like if he wins, this is a
Yeah.
good look for both of
Mhm.
us. He wins, he gets his career back, and I get to be the girl that was supporting him when, everything was stacked against him. I don't know, but yeah, I couldn't have done it. Mm-mm.
I think much like us, like if she saw the footage that we saw, she probably initially did think maybe he was innocent
Mhm.
and felt like, I like him. He got that good, that bomb
Like, that wasn't good.
wiener, whatever.
Good,
Because
yeah.
that that go a long way
Yeah.
sometimes. It make you even not think straight. So I could see where she might have gotten in the beginning caught up, and then once she knew certain things, she didn't just want to step away from him.
Mhm.
It's typical for some women to just support a man either, all the way through.
Because he
Um,
hasn't done it to her yet.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it was. But yeah, once I knew and it was in my mind that for sure he did that, I wouldn't be showing up at another court case, walking into court with him at all. Because it makes you look bad. You look like you are advocating for an abuser.
Let's talk about the footage. Why did he run?
Lord have mercy.
What did he tell
They're
that
like,
that
OJ.
commentator? He said, because if he would have been chasing her, what did he say? If he was chasing her, everybody would have tackled him. So he knew she was a white woman, so he had to go get away from her or something. he said.
That was he went all
Yeah,
left
like
field
he
on
would.
that. He never
Yeah,
answered that question.
No,
yeah.
He deflected from the
he
question.
sure did.
He took
What
off.
it look like he took? Because to me, I'm like, did he take her phone?
They were tussling over the text message, right?
Right.
So he was putting her in a car, or he told her to get out, or she said, "I want to get out." We don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but I think she was still trying to reach for that phone, and he took off like the road runner
With his phone, with
Yes.
the phone, and was running away from her. Yeah.
He took off like the bionic man. Boop,
Mhm.
boop, boop,
He reminded me of OJ through the airport.
Okay.
He was running, booking.
Why run? You're busted.
Yeah.
Take it inside. Tell the truth. I think it is so raggedy when you meet a man, he met her.
Mhm.
She said that they went to get engagement rings at some point in time.
Mhm.
You brought her to the States, moved her in with you, had her thinking she was in a monogamous relationship, to then turn around and cheat on her.
Mm.
And so she was like, "Oh, hell no, where you going?" I think that it was missed. I would have used that footage for some advertisement. I would have found out what type of heels she was wearing. And I bet you those shoes would have sold out. Because she was booking in the heels.
She was running. She was keeping up
She was
with
keeping
him.
up for the most part, middle
Where
of the
was the
street,
footage
dodging
coming
cars
from?
and everything.
Yeah, she was dodging cars. She almost got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
Who
know.
was videoing? Ooh.
Oh, well,
Well,
they
there's
got that
cameras
there was
All over
yeah.
the
All over the
okay. This
city,
was some
yeah.
of the okay.
So he was, dude, that's a bad look.
It really
I have never in my life seen a black man run from a woman, period, and you're running from a white woman. So the question was asked, if she was so hurt, why
Mm-hmm.
how could she run after him?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer it. Rage. Have you ever been in rage? Have you ever lost your mind? See, people get shot, stabbed, ran over, tased, maced, and they still got that adrenaline.
Mhm.
That adrenaline is pumping because everybody don't play with their heart. Everybody don't play. So she's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to get you. You'll
Mhm.
come back here.
Mhm.
And sometimes you don't feel those scars or those wounds until 2 or 3 days later. Even if you go to the club and start dancing, a couple of
And
days
drinking
later.
the same night.
Right, you like,
she
was
went
I
back to
break
the club
dancing?
and-
So yeah, she was
yeah.
chasing after him. He should have took her in the house. And so then I think he was a coward that he went and checked into a hotel and left her
Yeah.
at the house.
Well, remember he said that his side that she physically attacked him in a vehicle and he had the scars and all that stuff. So I don't think it would have been wise to go back to the house that night. I think they needed that space.
Break, yeah.
I
space
did.
apart.
I think that the best thing was to give each other that space for the night and reconvene the next day.
Well, there was a part of the footage where they showed that she ended up at the little club or bar where she went and drank.
With his credit card.
And yeah.
Mhm.
I think too, even looking at it up from another angle, she probably thought they were breaking up.
Mhm.
And not so much rage, but hurt, abandonment, feeling like, oh, I don't want to, even though he probably busted her beside the head, whatever he did, you're like, don't leave. You know what I mean? I know that's an ugly thing to even think about, but it's real. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel like he's gonna leave me, and I'm in love with him. And it started off with rage. That's how there's such this thin line between rage and love, or loving somebody and wanting them back so bad that you'll accept some of the stuff she did. Now keep in mind, I think just on what we know, there was probably things that happened many times beforehand. And that's probably why he picks young white girls that he can get away with that with, more so than a black girl. I mean, you can get away with a black girls too, but not as I think that you would with a.
Now you said something, because some people said a black girl would have never done that to
She
him.
would have took the ass whoopings. That's what they were saying, which I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I know.
Why didn't he testify?
His attorney told him not to.
I think if they questioned him enough, that more and more was going to come out that he'd done in his past. And he would have to face that, that he is a chronic abuser, that he is a serial abuser. And unfortunately, hurt people is probably, as they dig deeper into his background, he probably saw his mama get her ass beat or somebody. He just don't have good conflict resolution. He don't have any way to, that's all he knows. Let me slap her. I'm a big old dude. Let me push her down. Let me bust her upside the head,
Now, he said he was guilty of playing with her heart. I think he should have testified. Because, like the people said, she looked like the aggressor. He could have said that should have been one of his best acting performances of his life. I was in fear of my life. She seen that text message. She said, "I'm going to kill you." N-word.
Yeah.
I would have been testified, and they couldn't dispute it.
Yeah.
You seen, I was trying to get her back in the car, and she didn't want to get out, and she said, "I'm going to kill you," and I took off running. He should have testified. I think his attorney did a disservice to him, because I would have been up on that witness stand.
Yeah, but see, it sucks though, because it was like a lot of the evidence was not allowed in the court, was not allowed to be heard. So they didn't get to discuss his marks, her, attacking him. They didn't get to discuss his point of view of what he believed happened. The only thing they addressed in the testimony was what happened the year before. That's what they used basically against him, the assault and stuff that happened the year before, the text messages from the year before, and him being emotionally abusive by way of like threatening to self-harm himself if she went to go talk about what happened. That's what was used against him. So like a lot of the stuff that probably would have vindicated him was not allowed to be heard. That's why I was like, as soon as they came up with their verdict or whatever, I was like, oh, you gotta appeal. Gotta appeal and get a different judge. Like, gotta appeal. But I don't know.
You gotta remember too, if they have experts in the courtroom that would be able to testify whether or not his wounds were defensive, like she was defending herself, or was he just standing up there and trying to hold her back and she was, hurting him. So it's a lot of reasons why attorneys are going to say, I don't think this is a good idea for you to go on stand, because they will eat him alive. And he'll end up charged with more stuff than maybe it gets worse.
No, they won't add more charges, but it would look bad in front of the jurors. So yeah, I would say that, but they wouldn't add more charges. But if you know that your client is not good at giving his side of the story or being able to like handle being deposed from the other attorney, I wouldn't advise you to go up there and talk either. I would be like, let's just use the evidence that we have, and hopefully this should be enough for the juror to see that you should be found not guilty.
I think he's a liar. I think he's disingenuous. When he did his interview, the lady asked him, how did she get those scars? He said he didn't know. But he said he got scars. So, and she failed in the interview. Then how did you get the scars, dude? You got scars. She got scars. You don't know how she got scars, but you got scars. So what happened? And really, he started the interview talking about his daughter. Dude, didn't even know you had a daughter. And there was something left out. and he was tossing things around and breaking up stuff. He's a little meanie. He lost all his endorsements,
Mm-hmm.
and he's supposed to get sentenced again April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
However, Rolling Stones and a couple of other news resources have said that 2 more women have come
Come forward.
forward
Mhm.
with some charges. One said, what? He tried to strangle her.
Yeah, they came forward actually last year, so in June, but they withheld the story. And I'm assuming because they wanted to wait until the hearing was,
And
whatever,
see if he
and see if
lost
he and
so
see if
they can
he.
get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if he would, let's hypothetically say they would have found him not guilty on all charges instead of just 2. And then Rolling Stones drops that article next and be like, well, now we got 2 more women that are saying that you physically harmed them too. Then that would have been a bad look for any of the other people in the industry working with him. They'd be like, you work with a domestic abuser. You work with somebody that like whipping women's ass. Not just any women,
Right.
white women.
Okay.
And so, I think they purposely held it until now. And then the fact that he was supposed to be sentenced this week, which was continued, they was just like, let's just drop it now. Because by the time that sentencing comes in April, an appeal will have been already filed, and they're going to have to address that motion before they can even sentence him. So
Mm.
I don't think that is. So I figured this, now that they have these 2 women who are exes from what, 2015 and
Yeah.
19,
Kind of overlapping. He was
2015 and
cheating on them
19.
too.
He
Sound
was
like
that.
it.
It's
Sound like
he's
it.
a serial. He's a serial. It seems like he's already working on the next one before he gets
Mhm.
out of it. So by the time that one gets out of it, and they probably pissed off and upset because they like, where this person come from? He's now with that person.
Which further makes it not a good look for him to show up with Megan.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's what,
you need a break from a relationship, dude.
yes.
You need
Yes.
to take some time, get yourself together. Maybe I would have, as a juror, felt a little a different kind of way had I seen you're in counseling, you're in this, you're in
Mhm.
that, but you ain't in another
Yeah, you
relationship.
looking
Mhm.
remorseful.
Because you
You
ain't,
come in there.
yeah.
You're not remorseful if you just
Mm-mm.
moved on.
Thank
And to
you.
top it off with a sister,
Thank
Mhm.
you. That just looks
that's a
planned.
bad
Yeah,
look.
it's
Yeah.
not, it's not a good look.
And here's the thing: he lost his endorsements from Marvel, and think of all the little boys
Right. That looked at him as a
that looked up
Because
to
he was
him.
about to come up.
He was about to
yes.
come
Like
up.
was
he
on
had,
his
there was a
way.
series that was about to come out with him. He was supposed to be in crossovers of different movies. Because
Movies,
I'm
right.
a Marvel buff,
Mhm.
so he was about Killer Kang, Conquer Kang. He was about to be that guy.
Mhm.
He's the main character that's supposed to cross over into the next phase for Marvel. And now they had to just, either they're gonna wash it away or they're gonna get somebody else to replace him.
Mm.
And I don't know if we have that, but he was going to be a main superstar. And he already was in what? He had 2 movies that the year of, so this happened in 2021. So let's go to 2020 slash early 2021. He had came out with the Ant-Man Part 2, which
Mhm.
is where he met her.
That's where he met her.
Right? He came out with Ant-Man Part 2, and that's where Kang was introduced to character, right? He also came out with Creed the last Creed.
Right,
So
right.
he was back to back with that. And then everybody had saw him in the other movie or the other show that he was on with HBO. So he was like this. His career was like this.
Yeah.
He was on the Oscars, you know what I'm saying?
Military
he was
commercials.
military commercials.
Mhm.
Like
He was on
this
his
is Michael
way.
B. Jordan. He was
Yes.
right there with him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that, now you're nothing.
Which has to be a lesson to especially Black men in the industry. You have to be very careful because they're gonna pull up everything in your past, whatever little shitty stuff you're doing presently. Clean up your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was the prototype. She was,
Mm,
The
yeah,
preference.
submissive.
yes.
The preference,
She
yeah.
was the submissive.
Young,
No, she
fit,
wasn't wifey. She was
feminine.
about to be wife. What happened?
Well, he proposes to every one of them, though. So
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing.
Wow.
He does.
He's a love bomber, and
He's a
He's-
common.
yeah,
he
like
reels them in.
let's go ring shopping. He does that with all of them. He didn't marry his child's mother. He didn't marry the 2 women that he was dating while with the child's mother. But they all said that they were They were his fiance.
Oh.
And then Jabari said they were ring shopping, so he told her that I wouldn't be surprised if he tell Megan. But knowing Megan, she probably like,
I'm good.
I just got out of him.
Yes.
Listen, I just want to be single. I just got out of it.
And when you think about it, it's a bad look for Megan too, because she said that she was in a abusive relationship before she got with
Yes, I
Devon
remember
Patrick.
that.
So she liked them bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
So she, like you said, she probably knew he was bopping her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see where he gonna bop me at.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
That is. It is, but it's just the truth. If you don't heal those, you pick the same type of nigga over and over again because you haven't healed that place of
Needing
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, ladies.
I'm so disappointed because like we were talking about, he had the opportunity to just blow all the way up. And in a fit of rage, he has now just a few seconds of running up and down the street looking like a goddamn fool. He's ruined his entire career. And what about like you said, the young boys and kids that were just looking up to him, and now they have to hear this? You know, it's just his whole reputation is stained now, and it's unfortunate. You know, I would like to see him get some help. And maybe that could be one of his thing, get him some community service where he's out there and speaks on this type of thing. But he got to do something. I hope he can make a comeback. I really do.
Before you go, Nisha, do you think they're gonna let him come back?
I think it would take a whole lot. Yeah,
What you think?
he's scarred.
What you think? You think
No.
they're gonna let him come back?
No. I think he's done. You have to go in a different career.
Final thoughts, Nisha.
I believe I'm a proponent of healthy mental health. And so this goes for men and women.
Mhm.
If you know you are not mentally healthy, if you know you cannot resolve conflict with your words as opposed to your hands, I really encourage you to get some help for that, because you can't keep going in every relationship physically attacking somebody, because one day you might snap so much that there is no coming back from that situation.
Amen.
And it's too late, you know. So get some help with that. A lesson I learned by listening to someone earlier this week, who I'm sure we're going to be talking about soon, is as an adult, you are accountable for your trauma. You are, no one else. No one has to tiptoe, walk on eggshells, become a Michelle Obama or a Coretta Scott King, right, to appease you. You are responsible for your trauma. You're responsible for your health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So if you know that something's off, I encourage you to get help and keep your hands to yourself.
That's right.
My final thought is this. You need to go holler at 50 Cent. He might can get you over there with him. I really do think that if they let him come back, he's going to have to do something more degrading than that cover on Essence magazine where he was pouting his lips and wearing pink and stuff. He's going to have to do some terrible things. This has been a teaching moment for everybody that is not in the entertainment field. You're adult. Break up before you get with the next one, especially when you have a lot to lose. For everybody out there, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. We ain't got nothing else. BGP, like, share, subscribe. Until the next episode, y'all know what to do. We out.